that YouTube will send out my notifications, it is time for our news updates for today, for Monday. This is Black Not Blue. I'm me, and I'm hoping that y'all will get in here so I can give you the news for today. The news has gotten very interesting. There's some things that are not so pleasant, there's some things that seem promising, and some things that are downright scary. So I'm going to go ahead and start. Hopefully YouTube will send out notifications, and once you get in, or if you watch on replay, please hit the like button for me. While I'm waiting, let me hop into the studio to make sure that my video is set to public. One moment. I'm coming. Okay. Wait, what am I doing? I think I'm having a moment. Give me 1 second, everybody. If you are watching on replay or you're just getting in, welcome, welcome, welcome. And please hit the like button. We do have some news updates, and I want to make sure we get those out. Welcome and happy Monday to you. Hey, God's anointed daughter, how you doing? All right. Oh, hold on. I want to make sure we're sending out notifications. Thank you for hitting the like button, sis. I appreciate that. I do appreciate it. Hold on. All right. So we coming on in. Y'all hit the like button. Thank y'all for hitting the like button as you come in. All right. Let's get our news going. Let's get our news going. You feeling great? I'm glad. I'm glad. You know what? I woke up extremely early and I could not go back to sleep, so I just kind of got busy um taking care of a few things and doing a few things. So it's good to be able to be in here doing what I love to do, which is actually informing people and just telling you what's going on. Of course, as you know, I don't have to tell you guys, but I'm going to say it anyway because every now and then we get people who are not accustomed with me, my platforms, and how I deliver information. So for anybody who is new, just so you know, I don't tell anybody how to think or what to think or what you should do. And I would hope that others would refrain from doing that to me too, because it's just mean. It's just mean. But I will give you information, and then you draw whatever conclusion that you draw from the information that is available. America, submit. I'm in America. So yeah. Where are you from? Everybody let me know where y'all are from in the chat. Where are you from? Where are you watching Black Not Blue from? Okay? Because we got to get into the news today. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Monday. I know I am. I know I am. I'm just making sure we get the information in the Discord because I don't want to miss anybody. I want to make sure everybody knows that we're live and they can come on in and get the news update for today. Hey, Zaleen. Hi, Mishra. You're from India. All right. Shout out to India. Well, let me tell you what looks bad. I don't know trisomy 21. Heard of, but I don't know. So I'm not proficient enough to talk about things that I'm not that familiar with or well versed in. I don't like to be pretentious. It's not my style. But hold on. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. I'm just posting some updates. I figured while everybody comes in, we had time to get everybody in. Okay. Well, please don't die. I can't pronounce your name because I don't understand those characters, but please don't die. We want you to be okay. Okay. Bianca is here for Black Not Blue. So listen, let me tell y'all what's going on in the news today. It looks a little shaky for Miss Harris, okay? Because we try to make sure that we're respectful on this channel. Amal, you're my Indian Catholic friend. Hi. Catholics are welcome. Everybody's welcome, okay? So it looks a little shaky, only because she got in a little trouble behind the her appearance on Saturday Night Live. I didn't know she was on Saturday Night Live, but she was. So let me tell y'all what happened. Okay, this is the news. This is what's going on. Mishra, if you do not know how to behave, you will be asked to leave. Okay. Now, while I do understand that you may be from India, dear, this is America. Okay. So get yourself together. Do not spam my chat. Hey, sweet diva. So Vice President Harris made an impromptu visit to Saturday Night Live over the weekend, okay? And she got in a little trouble. Well, not so much her, but NBC got scolded from the FCC. All right? You might be like, what the hell are they scolding them for letting her on the show? Amal, we don't do that here. We report the news. Do whatever you need to do, darling. So you might want to know why she got into trouble. Bianca, take care of Mishra Gaming. Get him out of here. Apparently, someone ate lead paint chips. It happens. It's okay. Hey, Candy Butler. So NBC got in trouble after Vice President Harris made an impromptu visit on Saturday Night Live because, hey, Landon, because the law requires networks to offer equal time to presidential candidates in an election cycle. Now, Saturday Night Live had originally pledged not to invite either candidate. Now, that's what they said on the show, but made a last-minute decision to host Vice President Harris. Now, who believes this was last minute? I don't know. I don't know whether it was or wasn't. I'm not going to accuse NBC or Saturday Night Live. I don't really have an opinion on that, but they got in trouble with the FCC. So after the FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr scolded NBC, Hazeline, after they scolded NBC, the network gave President Trump a 90-second ad during Sunday's NASCAR coverage and the NFL game, which I think more or less plays to his voter base than Saturday Night Live, or it could be a little bit of both. I think at this point, we can't really guess who's voting for who, not based on socioeconomics and racial demographics. Like, that does not exist anymore. People are voting based on what they believe to be right and wrong. And I think that's what this is going to come down to. Amal says, actually, Harris' house is near to my house. Her parents are from Tamil Nadu. I hope I'm saying that correct because I don't speak the language, but that's what's up. And then thank you. But yeah, so it could have played, well for his voter base, or, it could have still not been the best thing to do because I think some of his voters still may actually like Saturday Night Live as well. I don't know, but NBC had to offer a 90-second ad during Sunday's NASCAR and NFL game coverage because of the impromptu appearance of Vice President Harris on Saturday Night Live. Okay, so that was a little funny, but now there's some other things coming up that we have to talk about. Now, I was unaware. I've never visited a church in India. I was unaware that there was any issue when it came to Ms. Harris's husband. Now, what caused the conversation was a statement that he made, and I'm going to let y'all hear it, and you draw the conclusion for yourself, because I'm not sure what else to say. I really am not. It's a little disturbing. I thought it was disturbing. I felt like he knew what he was saying. I felt like he should be more mature and more adult than to say the type of things that he said. And it led people to, Mr. Doug Emhoff. I guess he was joking, but it was just in poor taste. So y'all listen to this, and I'm going to tell you what else people went and dug up and dropped. And it turns out that the information was absolutely true and verifiable. So this is what Mr. Emhoff had to say.
Kamala always does. Kamala did what Kamala always does. She just put her head down and she went to work. Kamala did what Kamala always does. She just put her head down and she went to work.
So that's what he had to say about his wife. that she did what she always does. She put her head down and went to work. Now, I don't know exactly what he meant by that. I know it don't sound good. If I were she, I would have been offended. Um, but that's her husband. I can't tell you how to feel about your husband. But that is what he had to say. So let's talk about what else came up, and people started discussing. It was already a conversation, but it became more of a conversation once that happened. Once that took place, it got a little strange. Okay, so he has an ex-girlfriend. Hey, LaPriest. Um, I personally, nothing that should have warranted that. I felt like it was pointed. I don't know. Like I said, I would have been offended. I can't tell her how to feel. I would have been offended. I'm just letting you all hear the statement that was made that caused people to dig into information and bring out more information. So I'm telling you how it started. I'm not harping on that. That is her husband. I cannot tell her how to deal with or feel about her husband. He's not mine. But that's what was said. So next thing we know, there's an article. Now, this article was actually published on October 24th on page 6, but nobody was really talking about it, and I didn't hear anybody talking about it. And y'all know I watched the news. I try to be plugged into social media so I will know exactly what's going on. Well, let me tell you. This article that's on page 6 is also, I think the Associated Press has an article, quite a few, Daily Mail, like everybody's covering it, okay? So Doug Emhoff, his ex-girlfriend is claiming that he slapped her so hard that she spun around. She said, her words, not mine, that she saw his dark side. I don't know whether Miss Harris is in trouble with this man, but it sounds like Doug Emhoff is a little violent. Now, an ex-girlfriend of Doug Emhoff, which is VP Harris's husband, has come forward to slam the second gentleman. That's a weird term. The second gentleman, for denying that he ever struck her in the face when they were a couple. She said, and I quote, "What's frightening for a woman that's been on the other end of it is watching this completely fabricated persona being portrayed. The woman, identified only as Jane, told the Daily Mail on Thursday he's been held out to be the antithesis of who he actually is, and that is utterly shocking." So she's upset because she don't like the character that he's portraying, because she said he's violent and he beat her tail. Now that's what she said. Okay. Hey, Lady Blue. Good morning. Thank you for hitting the like button. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button and give me bubbles. Give me bubbles. So she said that this incident took place. This is according to the Daily Mail because they had more detail. She said Jane, we can only call her Jane. She said that the incident took place in 2012 at a celebrity event in France. Okay. She is a successful New York attorney, and she's remaining anonymous. This lady, they said she initially declined to comment on the record, but him denying that it happened, I guess, was too much for her. So now she's talking. Okay. That's what she's had to say. Now, what's also interesting is that more information came out about this gentleman. Bombshell allegations that followed the other situation was that he cheated on the first wife with his daughter's nanny, a lady by the name of Najin Naylor. Najin Naylor was the nanny, and he cheated on the first wife with his daughter's nanny. And they said that received little or no coverage from news outlets. Okay. Emhoff admitted the affair in a statement in August, but his spokesman gave only a short denial of the violence of him slapping Jane. So I don't know what's going on, but that's what's being said. And y'all know me, if it's out there, I'm reporting on it. I don't save anybody, and nobody is safe on my platforms. I don't care who you are. Okay? So that's just what it is. Amal, I'm too old to be a model, dear. Next up on the agenda, we have the Federal Reserve is saying that they are going to be lowering interest rates. Let me tell y'all what's going on with that and why we need to pay attention, because money matters, okay? Now, you can find this information as well on the Associated Press. You can go to almost any site and find this information, but just so you know, because I know a lot of you all don't have time to check the news to see what's happening, so I'm bringing it to you. Okay? No one, this is the article according to the Associated Press. I'm just going to read it to you, and I'll give my opinion briefly, but we're going to slide on through there too. Now, no one knows how Tuesday's presidential election will turn out, but the Federal Reserve move 2 days later is their move 2 days later is much easier to predict. Okay, that's what the writer is saying here. With inflation continuing to cool, the Fed is set to cut interest rates for a second time this year. Now, the presidential contest might still be unresolved when the Fed ends its 2-day meeting on Thursday. So the Fed is set to, lower interest rates on Thursday. Y'all, please hit the like button. Yet, that uncertainty would have no effect on its decision to further reduce its benchmark rate. The Fed's future action, though, will become more unsettled once a new president and Congress takes office in January, particularly if Trump were to win the White House again. Trump's proposals to impose high tariffs on all imports and launch mass deportation of unauthorized immigrants and his threat to intrude on the Fed's normally independent rate decision could send inflation surging. Economists have said higher inflation would in turn compel the Fed to slow or stop its rate cuts. Now, you take from that whatever you may. Hey, April Garcia, how you doing? So, yeah, it is a bombshell before the election, Lady Blue, but let me give you my opinion. My humble opinion here is it's necessary. We do need the interest rates to be lowered. We do not need the interest rates to be artificially low in any way. However, I feel like this is a little bit of a scare tactic to announce it this way, and especially the way it's worded here. A lot of things are being read into it. It doesn't have to be. The idea that if Trump gets in the White House, then now Jerome Powell and the Fed is saying we would not be able to continue to lower interest rates. First of all, to mention high tariffs on imports, okay, maybe I could see it. And his threat, and they're saying threat, but I would say more or less his proposal to intrude on the Fed's normally independent rate decisions. First of all, let's be very clear. The Federal Reserve has an immense amount of power and control over, let's just say it, the money in this country. And that is one body that has no oversight. Who oversees the Federal Reserve? We don't get to vote these people in. They are appointed. So if the president, whoever is president, decides that they propose that they're going to take part in or have something to say about the interest rates and what happens with the Fed, I don't think that's out of line. And I think a president saying that they're going to they propose to get involved with the setting of interest rates and what happens with our money, I'm really okay with that, because at least that's someone that we elect, or I would say you have an opportunity to elect, because this particular election, our votes might not even count, because we know that there is a great looming threat of illegal aliens voting. The threat is real. So we may or may not get to actually choose who is the president. We'll have to wait and see. But the fact that the Federal Reserve has no oversight, there's no real governing body that's watching them, holding them to task. I mean, you're not elected in. So if someone that we elect, Gen C, you're going to have to go, honey. I'm giving my opinion, and you can have yours. It's not misinformation. It's called an opinion. So stop being ignorant. This is not that sort of place. This is black, not blue. We just talk about what's happening, and we have opinions. And if you want to have an opinion, have one. Well, actually, you can't because now you're gone. Because now you're gone. This is not that place. So everybody is welcome here. I don't care if you are a Democrat, if you're a Republican, if you're black, if you're white, if you're purple, and Adrian Grant, you're gonna go too because I don't have time for people glitching. If you're a Democrat and you're glitching because you cannot stand for somebody to have an opposing opinion, get medication, seek help, and pray because I don't know what else to tell you. Okay? Now, I read the information. I'm giving my opinion. I have a right to an opinion. I know that's shocking for you, especially Democrats. It's very shocking for you that black people are allowed to think, oh my God, whatever will we do? Black people are thinking? You're not just being told what to do. You're not just being told that you must vote blue because you're black. Oh my God. Call the National Guard. There's a Negro thinking. I'm giving my opinion. I personally feel like I was saying before we had people glitching, I personally feel like an elected official that the people actually elect getting involved with the process. I don't think he's going to hijack the process. I think every president should get involved with the process, or somebody that's actually elected by the people should be involved with the process. Like, it's insane to think that presidential involvement, or they call it an intrusion, but how is it an intrusion? We're all American citizens, and it's I don't know where this idea comes from that a president being involved is a threat. I don't know, but it is what it is. I think my humble opinion is that them reporting it this way and the Fed taking this stance is more or less a scare tactic. And I think it's a scare tactic um, to make those of us who actually pay attention to what's going on with the economy uncomfortable with one side or the other being elected. Now that's just what I feel. Okay. But it's good news that they're going to lower the interest rates. They have been like historically high. So it's good that the interest rates are coming down. But I don't think it's a great idea to use that as a scare tactic. Oh, if this person gets in office, we may not be able to lower them again. Sure, you would. Sure, you would. I don't personally feel that high tariffs being put on imports is going to harm American citizens. I think that people who are importing their goods to make money off of the American citizenry should pay high tariffs, because why are you allowed to build fortune off of American citizens and we see no benefit from it? Because why? Because why? Honestly, it to me it makes no sense. Now, this is just an opinion. This is not the news. This is just my opinion on what's being said. I'm okay with high tariffs. I'm also very okay with mass deportation of unauthorized immigrants. I don't know what that would have to do with interest rates. How on earth is deporting people who illegally entered this country, who are sucking the lifeblood out of the country, how is that going to harm interest rates? You get what I'm saying? Like, one thing has nothing to do with the other. Now, okay, we got an opinion because I want to know. DRX Quinn says no, the tariffs will screw the country up. It's the companies and wait, it's and the companies will have to pay for tariffs. Okay, give me some more information because I want to follow you on this. I actually like discourse on this channel. I love to hear what people think, and I don't, my opinion ain't always right. And the companies, us and the companies will have to pay for the tariffs. Well, here's the thing, right? Tariffs exist. Tariffs exist. They've always existed. When, like, for instance, when they first introduced NAFTA all those years ago, I thought that was a horrible idea for a lot of reasons. Okay. One is because when we start importing things from other countries, they don't have the same regulations that we have when it comes to a lot of things, not just safety, but also when it comes to wages, right? So if we have companies that are importing goods to America to sell, And let's just say they can hire Andy, Mary, and Johnny, and they can hire Andy, Mary, and Johnny for $20 a month. But in this country, where we have American manufacturers who create items, and let's just say they make the exact same item, we have a minimum wage, and companies are actually pressured to pay more than that because we know people cannot live on a minimum wage. So they hire Betty, Sue, and John. But instead of paying $20 a week, they got to pay $20 an hour. So that means the product that they're selling, they have to sell it for more money in order to make a profit. Whereas these companies are able to sell their items for a lot less because the tariffs are, not as high as maybe they could be. And what does that do for companies that are American, that are based in America, who actually hire Americans and contribute to our economy here? That puts them in a place where it's not even a fair, it's not even a like a level playing field for them to be competitive. So the tariffs actually serve a purpose. I don't think that people that import goods here should just be on easy street. I think that a high tariff is great. I'm for it. Jaleel, I'm giving my opinion. So I'm getting it from in my head because it's actually my opinion. Okay? Give me your opinion. Okay? DRX Quinn says, no, the company overseas that we outsourced won't have to pay. Us, the people, will have to pay that. No, that's not how tariffs work. Now, what does happen, thank you, Sky. What can happen, I won't say does, but what can happen though, DRX, is that they would end up trying to pass along some of the prices on their products. They would pass the price along on their products. If you put a tariff on a Chinese company or Korean company or from Timbuktu or wherever, we don't pay that. They have to pay the tariff. They have to pay the tariffs. Now they do pass the price on, but that also makes things more competitive. David has the thought. Okay, when you put tariffs on foreign goods at 100%, those companies will be forced to bring their factories here immediately. They will not pay the tariffs and lose profits. They will build factories here. I'm okay with them building factories here. That's what we need. We cannot put American companies at a disadvantage. You got to compete with someone who can afford to sell products at an extremely lower rate than you. And in the meanwhile, companies that are based here end up drying up. And then people who need jobs can't get them. Or the only jobs available are so low you can't live off the money. To me, it's just not right. Say those companies are not going to build those companies won't build their companies here or factories here. I got you. And that's an idea. That's a thought. I mean, I think it's a gamble. Everything is a gamble, right? Because you can do something and you can kind of project like, okay, if I do this, that'll make them do that. Or if I do that, it'll make them do this. It's all a gamble. Like people love to talk about, what they know, but we don't really know what these people are going to do. We do something and hope for the best. But I think that sitting back and allowing them to take advantage of our system here, get paid here, and we don't benefit from it in any way, it doesn't make sense to me. David said they definitely will not just lose out on the largest economy on earth. I agree with you, David. I think, even though I'm saying, and I believe in my heart, we never know what people are going to do. I think it's a pretty good chance, David, that you're right. That they're not just going to be like, oh, well, the hell with that American money. Said nobody ever. Said nobody ever. Money talks. Money talks. Daniel, I understand, but we got to be nice. Hi, World Outreach Ministries. Welcome. Scott says people don't understand that Black, white, Asian, Latin, or whatever race in America, we all want a good economy. That's true. We don't want to fight in between. Yeah, I don't believe in that. And people who immediately get hostile and start name calling, like, I don't even know how to help you. Like, I want to hear what people think. Like, let's talk. Because at this point, we are all in the same boat. We do not have room for the things that we used to argue about, the things that used to separate us, the things we used to be angry about. Like, we can't afford it no more. Like, we literally can't afford it. Jalil said that's not true. What are y'all talking about? None of what y'all saying are true. I'm sorry. No, Jalil, you're gonna have to calm down and type in English, baby. I don't understand. Joanne says we're a big market. If they don't, they lose money. And that's true. And that is true. Daniel says, don't sell our country out for a couple of bucks. I agree. Aaron, I agree too. It's better to try and fail. DRX says it's exactly like the Chicago bag tax. The public pays 7 cents per bag, and the companies, Walmart, Walgreens, etc., also pay 7 cents per bag for stock. So both are getting screwed. But here's the thing, right? You got to think about it, DRX, right? So if the tariff is there, they can pass, they can. The company has every right to charge more money for their goods to make up for what we're charging them for a tariff, right? I'm okay with that. Charge whatever you want to. But that also makes it more fair for American manufacturers and American companies who have to compete in the exact same spaces. Why do you think like we can order something from China and it's $5, and if you buy the one made in the USA, it's like $29.99? It's a reason for it. It costs us more money to operate here than it does in most other places, and that's just the truth. So if they have to increase their $5 item to $15 because we placed a tariff on them, well, that makes it a little bit better for the American company that's having to charge $29.99 because they have to have unemployment insurance, they have to have workman's comp, they have to pay for, at things being regulated by OSHA and safe. So it makes things fair all the way around. Like, we can't have it both ways. It's great to find cheap stuff, but it's also great not to tank the American economy in the process. We got to do better. We got to do better. And thank y'all for having conversation in the chat. Hi, Jaden Crenshaw. Welcome. We got to have, and thank y'all for having conversation, like just like normal people. I appreciate y'all. Like, no name calling. Everybody be cool. Hi, Danny Sharp. Said we got 12,000 new jobs. That's sad. But we got 10 million immigrants. That's not healthy. It's not healthy. It's not. And for a lot of reasons. There are a lot of people who came to this country legally. They paid for their green cards. They took their what do they call it, examinations, and they went to their interviews. They did everything they were supposed to do. So why is it okay that millions of people can just break in and then we're expected to shoulder that cost? That's not fair. It's not even responsible. Hi, shot caller. Say, if you don't know about economics, how can you talk about it? So let's go ahead and get you up out of here, because I told y'all I'm on a low tolerance today. No insults. Just we're talking about our opinions and what we think and what we feel. Okay. I'm reporting some news in between, but I stopped in between the news stories just to see what everybody thinks. Like, nobody wants to sit here and talk to me or listen to me be a talking head. I want to know what y'all think too. Fantasy Tiger says we pay more to bring those products into the country. If the companies importing said item pays more, then we as consumers have to pay more for that. I think I understand. Hi, Jimmy. You don't clearly understand economics. Tariff is a tax on consumers, not companies. Never has, never will. Okay, whatever you say. A reason the affiliate says if they build factories here, good. They should, and pay American workers. If they want to build out of country, they should be charged more for paying I'm sorry, got tongue tied. They should be charged more for not paying American workers. Tariffs are good. I agree. I agree. Scott says, how can we elect you for president? I would never do that. Politicians have to lie too much, and I'm a Baptist. I'm not a fan of lying. Well, World Outreach Ministries, that may be true. Jennifer Snell says blame the billionaire corporate and the corporations. I agree. I agree. Oh, David said, but then they can sell their cars here tariff free, so they don't need to build factories here. Good point. Fantasy Tiger says a tariff is a way for our country to regulate our own companies to make sure that we are taking the option to produce stuff in house and not relying on foreign imports. Okay, I like this. I'm trying to get everybody's comments because I want to hear what everybody has to say. Thunder says the Democrats seem to be worried about the black vote this election cycle. What happened to make so many black voters walk away? I can't speak for like all the black voters. I can't. I know for me, I can't vote based on a party or a color or identity politics. I vote based on what you're going to do that's either going to benefit the world that I have to live in and my children and grandchildren have to live in, or you don't. I don't really care whether you wear red or blue or it's a donkey or an elephant. Like, I don't care anything about that at all. So maybe more people, just don't feel like we have to be told who to vote for. You know what I mean? I just think that, we should have a right to do it. Vote your conscience. Jimmy's John says those countries will tariff your exports. Whatever you think you will gain from tariffs will be meaningless when those countries tariff your exports. Well, let's see. Like I said, we never know what's going to happen, so let's see. I would rather take the risk and, protect the American economy. I would prefer that because we were in better condition when our industry over here was stronger. And I think that industry has suffered. Just my opinion. Al Nelson, why do I need to fix my collar? It's a scarf. It's not a collar. It's literally a scarf. But thank you for your concern. Okay. Mason, why would you want to debate with me? What would you like to debate about? DRX says Trump policies are not for you nor me. Which policies, DRX? Which ones? Okay, Jim, we got a new person. Let me get Jim's opinion. Jim says this is how tariffs work. Bring imports up to the same price that domestic goods are sold at. Companies here in the US see a way to make profit, so they start building the products here. Okay. Jim says also, then other companies decide they can make a profit as well. Okay. All right. Hey, Wendell Hughes, welcome. Jim also says, Jim got a lot to say. Jim says, bingo, there's the competition that's going to drive prices lower, not the products. Wait, I'm sorry, your comment moved too quick. Now that the products are made here. That's true. That's true. Hey, that Cali girl. I am. Well, DRX Project 2025 is actually not on President Trump's website. Like, that's not even listed in his agenda. I think he has Agenda 47. So that wouldn't quite fit the bill. Hey, Dreezy. Say we pay the tariffs, not the importing country. D33 Marin, I hope I'm saying your name right. Hi. Don't be vulgar, honey, because I will block you. Don't be vulgar, because I will block you. Like, let's not be silly. I'm a whole woman. I'm an old lady. I have children. I can promise you I have cleavage. I think it's normal. If you can't look at women without losing your mind, this may be the wrong place for you. Right, moving forward. Say they keep repeating Project 2025 like the devil. Y'all are funny. Yeah, I mean, I've read both too, but I just say, We have to go by what people say that they are standing for and what their platform is. So I have opinions about both people. I can only go by what you said. I can only go by what you said. What do you mean apparently not? I can read. I promise you I can. I am degreed. I am degreed. Excellent reader. I have no problem reading. I'm just not, overly emotional. And the problem I think is that not with you, but I think the problem that's going on right now with everybody being so worked up is that we have certain people who are using trigger words and using hot button topics and dog whistles to get people emotionally incensed and worked up so that you can't calm down and think. Hi, Aaron. Okay, we have a new voice. Aaron says, yeah, tariffs make companies here bring their factories back here because they got to pay a tariff to sell their stuff here. If their factories is in another country, it makes them bring the factories back. Yep. Jimmy's John is bringing up another variable. Jimmy's John says the companies still need raw materials that we don't have. Labor is not the only cost that companies worry about. Those countries will raise the cost of raw materials. Do you really believe there are raw materials that cannot be gotten here that would be necessary, like in on a broad scale? I'm just asking. Please don't attack me. I'm only asking. James John say yes, he does believe that there's raw materials that we need on a broad scale that can't be gotten here. Okay. Hi, Edgar. Welcome. Say the unintended consequence of tariff is price gouging. That is true. That is one risk. That's one risk. If price fixing is not a part of the plan to deal with the unintended consequence, it could add to inflation in prices. That's a good point, Edgar. I like that. I like that because I was trying to understand, like, how is that gonna? But I still think it's something we should do. But I think what you said is awesome, and that's something that we probably should be making a lot of noise about. Price fixing. I like the idea of that. So we need tariffs and we need price fixing. Edgar said so, and I agree. Hey, attack button gaming. Say then you're clueless, Jimmy John. Look at the license for lithium mining. Kamala's husband just applied for it. Ooh. David said for the last time, Jimmy, Trump said he won't tariff goods we don't make here. Try to focus. Y'all be nice. Please be nice. Zito says price fixing already a part of the economy search for the naked shorting and Citadel securities. Okay, thank you, Zito. See, isn't it nice when we just talk like normal people and nobody's acting, unhinged? Isn't it nice? So let's talk about what else is going on. That this one kind of, y'all, this one kind of threw me. I didn't know how to feel about it. So let me tell y'all what's going on or talk about it because some of you have probably already heard about it. So let me just give you the news and then I want y'all's opinion and I'm going to give you my opinion too. Hey, Kazi, the Cane Corso. I like your name. Okay, so let's get this one up because I was kind of in shock and I felt a little confused as to why this would be a problem. Hold on. Here we go. All right. So, y'all, I'm in shock. So, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, had a last minute ruling on mail-in ballot dispute. Okay. So this, you can find it, it's kind of everywhere, but this is what I read and I'm going to read it to y'all. And this is what I saw that kind of shook me up a little bit, right? So the Pennsylvania Supreme Court shut down an effort to allow mail-in ballots lacking handwritten dates to be counted in the 2024 election. The ruling overturns a decision from a Commonwealth court finding that the state law requiring a handwritten date was unconstitutional. Now, I was super confused because why is a handwritten date being required unconstitutional? Especially if that was the state law. I was confused, okay? Anyway, so the Pennsylvania GOP appealed that ruling to the state Supreme Court, and now undated mail in ballots will not be counted in the upcoming election. Justice Kevin Doherty admonished the Commonwealth Court for its ruling in a forcefully worded opinion relating to Friday's ruling. This court will neither impose nor countenance substantial alterations to existing laws and procedures during the pendency of an ongoing election. We said those carefully chosen words only weeks ago, yet they apparently were not heard in the Commonwealth Court, the very court where the bulk of election litigation unfolds, Doherty wrote. Today's order, which I join, rights the ship, and it sends a loud message to all courts in this Commonwealth in declaring we would not countenance substantial alterations to existing laws and procedures during the pendency of an ongoing election. We said what we meant and meant what we said, he continued. So, listen, I was shook up. I'm really confused. I'm confused as to why that was ever a thing. If the law said that you got to have a written in date, you have to write in the date, why is writing in a date or requiring that unconstitutional? Hey, No Name 95, welcome. Lifelong conservative here, country over party. I agree. I'm not sure how anyone can vote for him at this point. I don't know. I don't know about either party. I'm not telling anybody who to vote for. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not on Diddy's list. So I don't have to, talk up for anybody. I can just tell you what I think and report what the people said. I don't know. Okay? I don't know. But I'm just confused. To me, this kind of falls under the same category as saying that people have to have ID was racist. Like, some stuff is confusing to me. This one is one of those things. It's confusing. Hi, O's 442. Welcome. Everybody's welcome. Chester Wolf the Griffin. He says it's because what happened last year, people were writing in dates that were predated and or dated after, i.e. questionable. So that would make it unconstitutional to say that the dates have to be written in? Explain. Tell me more. Because I think I understand what you're saying, but tell me more. Hey, Neo Sapiens. Welcome. But it was just confusing. So that's been overturned, and the state law is going to be upheld. Those dates have to be written in. Like I said, for me, I was confused, and I don't have a problem telling you when something confuses me. I was confused. I was like, why are they arguing over dates on a ballot? Why are we arguing over dates on a ballot? Thank you, Neo Sapiens. My husband bought it. He's nice when he actually gets the clothing in the hamper. He's great when he does that. But yeah, so that happened. I want to make sure we got everything. And a little bit of a sad story that I found that made me feel so bad. So I'm going to report on this one and then I'm going to go. But I did enjoy y'all today. Well, Dreezy, according to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, it was over the date on the ballot, not a postmark date. They wanted a handwritten date on there. Okay. So this story, like I said, was a little bit sad, but I'm going to tell y'all this story anyway on my way out. The internet exploded about a man who kept a pet squirrel and a raccoon as pets in New York State. After authorities raided his home, seized his animals, and reportedly euthanized them. The squirrel's name was Peanut. And the raccoon's name was Fred. They had a sizable social media following managed by his owner, Mark Longo. This is all according to the Associated Press. The New York Department of Environmental Conservation took the animals Wednesday from Longo's home, an animal sanctuary in Pine City, in rural Pine City, near the Pennsylvania border. The agency said it had gotten complaints. From who? Who complained about Peanut and Fred? So sad. They claimed they got complaints that wildlife was being kept illegally and potentially unsafely. Illegal aliens are okay, but Peanut and Fred is where y'all draw the line. Okay. State law requires people to get a license if they wish to own a wild animal. Longo has said he was working to get Peanut certified as an educational animal. Okay. Authority says the animals were euthanized so they could be tested for rabies after Peanut bit someone involved in the investigation. Peanut bit somebody because they were over there handling him and they didn't know him. Poor Peanut. I feel so bad for Peanut. Greg, we're going to get you out of here. We don't tolerate rude people here. You're probably like extremely unchristian too. I get that feeling about you, Greg. I really got that feeling. So we're going to get you up out of here. But yeah, poor Peanut. Poor Peanut. So he ended up biting somebody during the investigation, and they used that as their excuse to euthanize poor Peanut. So, wow. So they literally raided their home, and they took Peanut and Fred, and they euthanized Peanut and Fred. Neo Sapiens, why are you asking me? I've never gone to church with him. I don't know anything about him. Never met him. But yeah, so that's it. That's all. That is our news update for today. Everybody who popped in, hi Glenn. Welcome to everybody who popped in. Please like my video. Subscribe to the channel if you like to come in and talk and just have fun and be nice. You know what I'm saying? And as long as y'all are not mean people or rude people, then you are welcome here because I really enjoy talking to everybody. And I'm going to go, but I'll be back tomorrow with more news updates and conversation. I enjoyed you guys. Have a great Monday, okay?